Welcome to CF Students Wrapped. We're glad that you're joining us today. My name is Jonathan. I get the privilege of being the student director here, and we are going to be reviewing some of the all-time favorite memories that we've had at CF Students in 2021. I mean, there's been some great instances this year, hasn't there? Like, there's been some really cool things that have happened, and one of them that comes to mind is we did something we've never done before. We did the spring retreat. Spring retreat, back of spring. Man, there was some great things that happened at spring retreat. I just wanted to open it up to see if any of our student pastors wanted to share with us some of your favorite memories of spring retreat. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
So spring retreat was so much fun to me. One of my favorite memories was like the whole lake thing, because that lake was disgusting looking. And for some reason, everybody wanted to get in it, like purposefully tip over their boat. And I happened to be on a paddle boat with some students, and they tried to turn us over, but I fought real hard and we did not turn over. But it was so much fun. I love spring retreat.
That's great. That's Hannah from our Boynton campus, but she's getting ready to launch Boca. We're excited. Awesome. All right, someone else. So, favorite spring retreat memory?
Yeah, so I've got a spring retreat memory. If you didn't know, I'm from Stewart campus. And at Stewart campus, we take our basketball very seriously. And so there was a full court basketball at spring retreat, and we were just tearing it up the entire time. I was like one person versus 10 others. I don't care if they were 12 years old. It was awesome. It was great. So we had a really good time playing basketball spring retreat.
That's awesome.
I got one from PSL, big time. My favorite memory is that Port St. Lucie we were camp champs, both middle school week and high school week. For the Happy Meal Blender Challenge, they crushed it. Disgustingly.
A little competition in there. Spring retreat was great. I mean, I just loved it. I agree with the lake thing. Played basketball. I got hooped on by Stewart, so I know the Stewart was ready for it. But it was a great time. And some other things that happened this year is we launched some of our own written music, right? Like some of these songs. All right, on the count of three, everyone yell out your favorite song that we launched this year. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. I don't want to miss it. Hey, all right. We've never been closer. Anyway, that's why I'm not the worship person. Not the worship person. All right, I want to hear maybe favorite song released this year and like why that was important to you. Who wants to go?
I'll go.
All right.
All right. I don't know if it was first, but Light the Fire was pretty special. And I think it was just really cool that a song came out of our house for our students and for our church family, and to hear students singing those words, and even myself singing, it just felt timely. It felt like it was God's word for this house at this time. And to see the way our students latch onto it, I think we sang it once, y'all, and then everyone knew all the words. The students on the worship team were like stealing the Ableton tracks, like getting it out sooner before it was released. But it was just awesome. Just shout out to everyone who worked on it, and it was really special to hear it come out of this house.
So, Light the Fire was definitely super special for our CFE campus because not only were they able to worship in English, but they were also able to worship in Spanish. And it was awesome.
Sing it in Spanish. Jaw it up.
Ven, encienden mi
Hey,
tu fuego,
hey,
mi corazón. And that's
Hey,
all.
I was
So
that was
you'll have
good.
to listen to it to actually get to know it. But it was really awesome to see our students have that as their declaration during movement camp and also be able to take it home to their parents, to their families, to have that as their prayer all together as a family was just super powerful and special.
Yeah, that's true. Anyone else?
Cool, and I know out at our Okeechobee campus, we take worship very seriously out there. Our worship team just crushes it every week, and when that song came out, man, it was so powerful because it's so vulnerable in the prayer of the bridge, that, Lord, I'm ready and willing to be an altar for your glory. And, man, it really set the tone for our worship this year. So, phenomenal song.
Yeah, I might have been crying or maybe not crying. Yeah, no, that song took me out a couple times. I love that song. There's also, we're not going to tell you what song it is, but there is a release coming in the spring, 2022. Another song that we've been writing that I am so excited about. But I want to talk about something else that was a huge event and a huge part of our 2021, which was Movement Camp. Movement Camp. This year was huge, and God did some amazing things. I mean, over 400 students able to attend, over 3,000 hours served, hundreds of baptisms. Man, God just really moved. It became like a staple in our student ministry in which God did some amazing things. That's where we released Light the Fire and all those great aspects. But I would love for some of our student pastors to just share what was your favorite part, whether funny, whether serious, of Movement Camp this year.
Yeah, I loved Movement Camp at our Belle Glade location. Yeah. It was like a big step up from like culture and just seeing God move in our house. Talking about Light the Fire, like most people don't know this, but like worship is brand new to our students. It's just like it has been less than a year since our students have had worship on Wednesday nights. Wow. And some of our students, for the first time, they got to be a part of something bigger. So we went to Movement Camp. And the students that went there, not only did we have like 5 students get baptized, wow. Right? That's like a shout out. Big deal. But not just that. When they came back, we saw such a change in our campus because they got to see all of our students like gathering together, worshiping, and they got that culture and they brought it back to Belle Glade. And ever since then, it's been like this movement that they've been inviting, all the friends that they're inviting, like, yo, you're tripping if you're not putting your hands up right now during this part. And so that's what I loved about Movement Camp. Yeah.
So good. So good. Someone else.
I know one thing I would share from Port St. Lucie, a lot of it was the first time for many of our students, especially our middle school. And I remember helping with food distribution with our middle school week. And we were actually in like a trailer park area. And so I got to go around with some students. And these were like kids that were super shy and they had never done this before. And we knocked on a family's door that had at least 12 people in that house at that time. And so we got to give them like more and more food than we were even expecting. We came back again a second time. But even just some of our like more shy students got to be a part of such a beautiful moment. We got to pray over the family. The mom of the house was just floored, and she was just so excited. But it was such an awesome opportunity for our students to see that happen.
Such a big moment.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun at Movement Camp. Definitely, I think one of the most fun things was we had Tribal Wars. Tribal Wars was awesome. And I remember the first game that we did the first day. What I loved about it was we actually didn't tell the leaders who were going to get pied that it was going to get them who was going to get pied. And so their pictures were getting made. And one leader who was up there goes, "You picked my face, didn't you?" And I watched as they threw the pie at his face, and he just looked so sad. But y'all looked so excited at the same time. So it was just incredible. So much fun that we were able to have. Movement Camp was just a lot of awesome times.
Yeah, that's great. I love the Tribal War games. One of the things for me that was so special at Movement Camp was the fact that we were having so many conversations with a bunch of students. And I just love that there was one particular student that I've been on a journey with for like over like a year. And we had this conversation like, hey, like I really feel like you have a call to ministry. And she was like, no, I don't think so. But at Movement Camp, she had one of the most important conversations, and that was with God, who did tell her, like, yes, you are called into ministry, and she's here. So I'm so excited for that.
Wow, that is awesome. Movement Camp it just changes direction and trajectory in the lives of students, and that's why we do it, because it's such a pivotal part. We have this house rule that is we like to party. And we like to party just symbolizes this fact that Jesus doesn't just want us to be stuck up and not have fun, but Jesus actually had fun while he was here on earth, and he wants us to exemplify that too as Christians. And one of the ways that we do this is by having vibes. Vibes are these fun, partying, evangelistic moments that we have that if you haven't been to yet, you need to get to, because vibes are where it's at. And we just finished Not So Sound Vibe, which was ridiculous. Santa was there. It was a lot of fun things about that. But I want to hear, of all of 2021, all the vibes that we did, favorite vibe or favorite moment of a vibe, and why? Someone tell me.
Yeah, I got this one. So if you don't know me, I'm Carly from our Royal Palm campus, the fun campus in the house right here. And so one of my favorite vibes was actually our back to school vibe. And the reason is because I, for so long, had been just on a journey of just trusting God. And when I stepped out in my family, I was the first person to make that move in my family. And always just praying and asking God that he would allow me to extend that invitation to the rest of my family. Well, it took years and years and years. And honestly just got frustrated at times, just kind of discouraged, and just didn't know how God wanted to do that. Well, this Vive, at the back to school Vive, I saw 3 of my cousins. They all 3 were there, and it's just so cool how maybe it was them coming to the campus because they knew someone familiar, but now I'm so excited to see how they are going to take the gospel into their own house. And so it's so cool that if you have something that you're praying for, if you're asking God for something and you feel like there's nothing that's shifting or changing, you just have no idea how God is going to do it, how he's going to work at it, because I saw it firsthand at that Vive, and we captured that moment, and it's just encouraged me just to continue to be expectant and believe for God to do incredible things.
Yeah, that's so good. Preaching. I like that.
I got a little something.
Okay.
So my name is John. I'm at our Jupiter campus, and I would have to say my favorite memory is far less spiritual than Carly's. I think my favorite thing about working in student ministry is the unexpected, unscripted moments. And it was a Vive towards the middle of the year, and we were getting ready. I was going up to preach the message and was praying myself hot. I felt in the zone. I was ready. And so I go up out of worship, and we pray out of worship, and I open my eyes as we're getting ready to go into the sermon. And on the front row, we have a student who is a legend. And he is sitting there on the front row, and on his lap is a gigantic bearded dragon. He had snuck this almost 5-foot lizard into students.
No.
And we meet in a hotel, which has a very strict no lizard policy. But we were able to sneak it out flawless, and I had a conversation with his mom. I was like, hey, no lizards here. I haven't had a problem since, but I'll forever remember that moment.
You can go.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm Bella, and I'm from our Boynton campus, and mine's not as exciting as that, but I did want to say for our Not So Silent Vive, I was so excited to see a team of basketball players from Santa Lucia's come and join us and just represent over there, because what that kind of showed me was it wasn't just that they were new students coming, but they came because they were invited because of someone had experienced something so great, and they wanted to share it with a whole team of players, of basketball players. And I think my favorite part was when they went up against Hannah in our jousting ring. And, well, that's not exactly what happened, but she definitely fell. But one of the kids came off of the jousting and was like, wow, she held out for a long time. And so it was just, it was awesome to just see them come together and just hang out with each other as a team and just be there experiencing everything that God had for them.
So at our Gardens campus, we didn't have a lizard, but we had a panther and a gator show up.
What?
Yes, at Vive.
This is Florida.
In a mascot outfits. So on back to school Vive, it was probably Sling, because you weren't there. But it was one of my favorite things, just like anytime that students are representing their school and they're talking about Vive at their school and CF Students. So back to school Vive, we had like an incentive, like, hey, you get different tickets, you can win different giveaways if you do different things. So one of them was to come dressed as a mascot. And so we had Kylie, the mascot from Palm Beach Gardens High School, come dressed up. One of our, Julio, one of our leaders, dressed up as the mascot from Duncan Middle School. And then the ultimate prize was if you get your principal to show up. Yeah. And so principal from JCS showed up. And literally, I don't think a principal has ever had as many friends, you know, all the time. Like, everyone was claiming him. Like, I invited him. But they were all lying, right? And so, but just this nod is just seeing like so much buy-in from students representing the school campus was awesome.
That's great. If you haven't yet, I want you to add in the chat right now what your favorite memory was, CF student memory of 2021, because we just know that you probably have some fun times that you've experienced and maybe some great spiritual moments that you've experienced as well. And if you felt like you made it through this year and you didn't get a chance to, we want to tell you and echo the same thing that Pastor Carla just said, that God is still working and moving in your lives. And we, as student pastors, are praying for you. Yeah. And we have hope for you, and you may not feel like you have enough faith for what's next, but you can borrow ours because we have faith, full of faith for what God wants to do in your life in 2022. And just know, as we go into 2022, there's going to be some more great things. Like we have another Vive coming up the first week back That's going to be awesome. Spring retreat registration has already opened. Yeah, it's already filling up. We're already getting ready for the lake. It's going to be a great time. It's better than ever. There's going to be some great additions to it this year, but we just want you to know that we are blessed to call you family and blessed to welcome you as part of our family as well. And we just hope that you have the great New Year's, but also that you're prepped for all that God's going to do in your life for 2022. Thanks for joining us for our CF Students Wrap. You have a great day. See ya.